Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hello Neighbor Raven News video. We have no time for a intro because, well, I just want to get straight into it, and plus this video will take way longer to process. So we will be taking a deep dive into what truly happened to the Alpha 2 build of Hello Neighbor 2. Hello Neighbor 2 Alpha 2 was the build that was showcased in the Devlog 1 AI trailer and all sorts of stuff. It was basically the predecessor to the beta build, and it was made around spring of 2021, but it is still yet to be unreleased. It had the old art style and stuff, so it probably couldn't be released now. But we are going to talk about a couple of theories of what truly happened to that scrapped or unreleased build, because nobody really knows what happened to it, but we're going to take a closer look and a deep dive analysis to what happened to the most infamous build of Hello Neighbor history. Hello Neighbor 2 history, my bad. So, this build, from what we know of, consisted of only I don't know if it's 3 or 2, but the 2 houses that we know most definitely had neighbors or AIs is the Grey Manor, aka the prototype version of the museum, and the Peterson residence, which is a slightly modified Alpha 1.5 house model. So, the Grey Manor was a very interesting building. From what we know of, the Ravenbrook Smear was just across the street, and what we know is the Grey Manor is, well, it doesn't have an interior. Now, you guys might be thinking, wait, but Mr. Crowman, there's footage of, Quentin walking around the Grey Manor. And you might be confused because, yeah, that was the inside of the Grey Manor, and yeah, that was not the museum, that was the Grey Manor. So I did one more digging, and it turns out that some of the rooms of the Grey Manor is actually in tiny boxes that are spread around in the map. I found this out by looking a little closer in some of the pictures. I noticed some of the differences. And they could have just moved the Grey Manor mesh around the map. That would just be strange. But, my theory is that the neighbor would teleport, so once he's done doing his AI tasks in each of the rooms, he would teleport to each other room, and he would probably teleport to the outside of the manor. That's why, or he could walk to one of the locations, because in one of these upscaled footages, you can see the neighbor clearly roaming around the map. He doesn't know that Clinton is right next to him. So, it is likely the Alpha 1.5 AI, because the guests roam around the map randomly. So, this is highly likely not the beta AI that was used in the Alpha 2 build. So that is great to know, because that build would have actually had pretty fun AI to mess around with, and would have been kind of a challenge. But, I think these would, and then the neighbor would kind of teleport outside to work on his car in the garage. So, kind of weird, but makes sense for an unreleased work in progress dev build that was sadly never finished, because we obviously know that it was very unfinished, because there was just foliage that was clipping through the ground, and the build overall looked very unfinished. Now to get in some of the reasons why it maybe was unreleased. Or wait, we have to talk about the Peterson residence. The Peterson residence was a slightly modified Alpha 1.5 house model. We know this because of some of the structure of the house, and the textures and the positioning is exactly the same as the Alpha 1.5 house model. This version of the Peterson house was by far the most detailed Peterson resident house, because it had a lot of detail inside, and the neighbor had many AI tasks to complete, like pushing his car, taking a shower. Not by force, he could take a shower naturally. So, there were paint cans in Alpha 2, and yeah, you wouldn't have to you could just take a shower naturally you could do simple AI tasks without being provoked by Quentin, which is really nice to know. He had much to do, his AI tasks. Peterson House was okay, but the overall design of it was very poorly made. A lot of stretch meshes, roof clipping through roof, kind of weird. It was okay, but for a fan game of Hello Neighbor 2, that house model would be okay. But for a actual public alpha made by Tiny Build, that house model has to go or be changed. Move on to why the build might have never been released. We actually have some official public statements that they have come out, but those messages have been lost forever, but I remember some of them, and some other people told me. We're going to start with what they said. They said that the map was way too big and way too empty. Now, that is not really true, because looking at the devlog, we can definitely see that the map has a lot of stuff going on, and it is very much not empty. And, yeah, not really the greatest excuse. Moving on to some theories. Theory number 1, this alpha actually turned into the beta. That is a very good theory, because it had a lot of kind of beta stuff in it, and it could have easily been turned into the beta build. But it's publicly stated that it is the Alpha 2 variant of Hello Neighbor 2. So that kind of falses that out. And it could have been a early scrapped full game, which is very, very, very highly likely. That is probably the most truest statement. Because what the frick was that noise? Okay. They promoted this version of the game in the AI trailers, devlog. They were making it seem like it was the full game of Hello Neighbor 2, but it just never released. And they probably easily turned it to Alpha 2 to hide some stuff. Some shady business going on. I think that's it. I do believe. I'm not 100% sure. And oh yeah, one last theory. It was unfinished. Now, they could have easily finished the map and polished it, and it would have been a very much beautiful open world experience to go around, but that's just a theory. A Raven News theory. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this. Oh my gosh, my dog. I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya. And maybe today's video, I'm not for sure. I really do wish Hello Neighbor 2 Alpha 2 would have released, but maybe under a different name, and maybe an early access name or something like that, because it was very unfinished. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.